Okay, so our next step has got to be to create a context menu. Now, this is a little bit of a dark art, and there is a snippet video as well on the website, but we'll just go through it here. First things first is it's part of the toolbars, so we will go to Design Toolbar. And what we have to do first is if we just drag this out here, is there are three dots on the end here, and they're not immediately obvious, so that's why I'm dragging this out here. So on the three dots here, we need to add a menu bar, and you'll see it's gone in here. Now the context menu needs a menu bar to sit on in effect. So then what we do is we go to Edit Context Menu, and on here we will simply going to call it Query. We'll add that. So it's got a 1031 is the ID. So that's that. Then we go to customize. Next what we have to do is add the buttons that we're going to add to the context menu. So we'll add a button on here. We're going to call it customer inquiry. Okay, and remember it's got the event ID of 1005, so that's there. Now we go to customize, and we can go to menus here. And down here on context menus, we'll find the one that we've created and see that it's popped up here. It's just lurking behind there. And now what we can do is we pick up our button and we move it onto here. And now we've created our context menu. We'll close that. It'll all disappear because context menus are designed to only appear when you do something like right-clicking on things. But we can see it if we go to our Application Explorer. We'll refresh the Explorer, come down here, look at our toolbar. There's our context menu with our 1031, and there's our button on the context menu. So we can quickly work out what the IDs are for these buttons. So what we're going to do next is move on and get this working on our list view. Okay, so we've got our context menu defined. Can't see it at the moment, so just a reminder that if you go to the application browser, refresh contents, you can drill down onto the toolbar. See here we've got context menu, which we call query. 1031 was the ID of it, and the button on it was 1005. So you can quite quickly work out that there is one there. Should you ever want to get rid of it, you simply go back to Design Toolbar, Edit Context Menu, and there is a delete button in that form. Okay, so what we're going to do now is nip into the script and just add some code to see if we can't get this context menu working. Great. Okay, so you can see that I've added a couple of constants, as is this my style. It's up to you what you do, but basically a toolbar constant for our button 1005 and our context menu 1031, so we can refer to them there. We'll scroll down to our right click. If you remember, we were capturing the right click event and we're actually doing nothing with it at the moment. Get rid of those comments to remind us. I'm just going to paste in some code from earlier that I wrote, and we'll just talk you through this. As before, we take the value from the nodes that we've clicked on and put it into the array of segments. I pick up segment, the first parameter or option, check that it's cus and exit if we don't. I only want this menu to pop up if it is a customer name that we're clicking on. Then what we're doing is we are doing a toolbar show context menu. Well, that's the name of the toolbar is incorrect because I've just copied it out of another example that I'm doing, but just show you it up here, toolbar callouts. We'll scroll down here to show context menu. See that it actually knows what it is, and if we add that, this is what you would get. So we've got the right name. Can't remember what I called the variable context menu. So what we can do is cheat a little bit and just pop that in there. Get rid of that again. Okay, so that instruction is going to do a call out to toolbar, show context menu. That's the name of the toolbar, and that's the ID of the context menu. Right. Okay. So what we're basically saying is that when it shows it, it'll pop up on the screen waiting for us to do something like a modal box. If we press a button on it, it'll come back in the return value. So basically what we're saying is if the return value was a customer query, the 1005, then do something. Okay, we could have used a select statement like we've done before, but change it a little bit. And if it is that button, then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a Syspro program to run. ARSPEN is the name of the program. I put a space, and then is one of the programs that you can pass the customer number to, so which we know is in segment 1 of our parameters. And if we got it right, it'll run ARSPEN space customer number and launch the program. So let's go and have a look at that. Okay, so one of the interesting things about running programs on something like a customer inquiry, when we get control coming back from that program, well, it doesn't really matter because we haven't actually updated anything. But imagine, for instance, you were sitting on a list of sales orders showing order value or something like that, and you had launched the order entry program from Syspro, changed an order within it, and come back to your app. Now, if you'd added a couple of order lines as an example, your list view may well be out of date and not in line with the data. So you'd need to be able to detect that you had returned back to the VB script and then do something about it, such as re-query the database to repopulate your list view. You do this by trapping the event ID called control returned. It's actually, you can look at it down here, somewhere down here. Control returned here, and it explains what happens. But basically what's happening as the Syspro program returns in, it'll fire this event, and param1 is the program name, and param2 is the parameter that you pass to the program. So you, for instance, may well have passed an order number to Info40. You've actually done some editing, you're coming back and you'd want to refresh the list view. So that's how you would do it. And if we just save this for ourselves and we'll run our program again. Okay, so what we've got now is we've got our customer data coming back, or rather our data has been displayed in the program. When we close the program, it'll return back to our VB script. And now you see it's being caught by that control return, and this is our message. So it's exactly what you want to do with refreshing list views and so on like that. Okay, well, that's the end of the major bits of the course, and I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll do a little bit of a wrap-up session, and just to remind you that all the source code for each of the sections is available as well for you to study. Thank you very much for listening.